Hello and welcome everyone to India Predator League 2024. I'm your host Anna, and with me on desk we have Universe from all across a multiverse. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. Of course, we've just had one game go by, which was quite the exciting game. Of course, True Rip
Yeah.
versus Astro Army. It was, I think it was a little shorter than I expected it to be. But you were going through. You know what? Before we head into today's game, just give me a little rundown of what happened with True Rippers and Astro Army.
It did start off pretty one-sided. Like the first two rounds, we could literally see that Esther Army was going to struggle a lot, but then they tried to come back up. Both the games first half
Yeah,
was pretty equivalent. It wasn't very lopsided, but once they entered into the attacking half for True Rippers, they just ripped Esther Army apart in the last one. And I think it had a lot to
yeah.
do with how the coordination was working in Esther Army and how
Mhm.
they were kind of failing because of the lack of experience against True Rivers. But well, they
Yeah.
held on to their name and they did great for it.
True. Well, let's find out what's going to be in store for us in the next game. First of all, of course, the prize pool. Just to remind, if there are any new viewers here, this is what's going to be, the main thing they're going to be competing for. Apart from the fact that they can go ahead to the Philippines later on in the stage of this competition, if they win this, of course, to get themselves to represent their country. But for now, if you look at the money side of things, of course, the first place gets about 3.5 lakh INR, and the rest you can see as well on your screen. But this is not the one thing that we are looking at. It's of course the fact that they have a chance to represent and fight against teams from other regions. Which, by the way, one of these teams is a pretty
Yep.
heavily a favorite for. So the two teams, ladies and gentlemen, playing right now are gonna be what we've seen as in the recent past been the two so far, I would say, rather best Valorant teams. Of course, RGE if you include them as a top three. Orangutan versus Team Sarafa. Of course, this is a game that's kind of come a little too early into this, tournament. I would believe that maybe they would have met later into the playoffs. But what do you think
Mm-hmm.
about this, Anna? Must be a really exciting, witnessing for all of us because this game might be coming early and we could see it again later as well.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure that we might be able to see a lot of entertainment in this one. This is going to be a super fantastic one and also a very awaited one nonetheless. And again, OG, they have literally represented India once before in the international platform just recently. So I'm having high expectations from the team, but then again, Team Sarafa cannot be denied the fact that they are again someone who can bring in a lot into the game. With Ascent, Lotus, and
Mhm.
Haven, we again have both the three-sided maps into the pool, but the one we will start off with will be the two-sided one, which is Ascent.
Absolutely. Let's get into Ascend. No wasting time here, ladies and gentlemen. Here at the India Predator League, we are underway with map number one for Orangutan versus Sarafa. And of course, we will be witnessing a bit of a difference here. No, actually, nothing. It
Huh.
seems like everything's going to be the same across both these teams. Just to enlighten our viewers who, who've probably not seen what Orangutan have been up to or what Sarafa have been up to in the recent past. Orangutan have beaten them in the last two meetings pretty convincingly. It's been quite the rollover, I would say, because Sarafa have struggled quite some times against Orangutan, having lost a couple of maps, even to the range of being 13-1s, 13-2, 13-3. They've got these score lines against them. So it is going to be quite a difficult
Choose your
struggle,
agent.
given their recent past, of course. But I believe if Sarafa play their cards right, they should be able to at least give a bit of a fight today because so far Orangutan have beaten them 2-0 across every BO3 that they've played. They've taken against every single best of one as well. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a daunting task for Sarafa to get back into this because their only, I would say, problem so far in the recent history that they've been, playing together has been this squad of Orangutan. They've been able to beat Reckoning pretty, convincingly. The last time they faced him, as far as I remember, in another, matchup. But Orangutan has always been two, actually four steps ahead of them. And this squad of Sarafa, which is a really great mix of experience with the youthfulness that we see, of course, from Deadly and his teammate. I believe that they need a little bit more, fragging potential. But I want to know from you as we jump into the game, Anna, what do you think that might be lacking for Sarafa, given their recent history of having lost Orangutan almost every single time?
Well, I guess Orangutan has exposed themselves to multiple teams and also to multiple regions now, so the adaptability on Orangutan is definitely a lot, and we're gonna see a glimpse of it in their composition as well because Raw Fuel has decided to go on to Sova, and we're seeing Aziz pick up on Jet this time around. So let's see how that is gonna turn around because I don't think Raw Fuel. I never took Raw Fuel as someone who would give up on Jet ever to begin with.
Well, I mean, he of course is kind of, he's been trying quite a lot for the recent past, and of course, people who've not been aware, Excali is a part of Orangutan's current lineup right now. Of course, in place of Tesseract, Frostmind is not going to be here. Who, by the way, was here for a while. But there we go. First kill comes in from Marcel. A good actual fragment onto Aziz. He predicts that perfectly. Takes him out. And of course, a fragment with the dome, it creates a damaged dome. It does get one. Deadly actually adds up and ended up lost his life pretty, I would say pretty unconvincingly, because he did get a lot of map control, but unfortunately, Deadly's aim was just a little better. Karma, who, by the way, formerly Amaterasu, has found a bit of contact towards A Short, calls in for a support. Marzo still on a main, and oh, there comes the smoke. This is going to be a little difficult, but will Rafuel stand tall to this task? Oh, he doesn't spot him.
Well, Rafuel is gonna go ahead and claim his throne for himself. The numbers are balanced now thanks to Rafuel. And if you take a look at the HP on Deadly, it's pretty little. With 13 HP in hand, he will have to pull up an Omen for himself. Unless Arike gets in his way. But well, as of now, pretty protected under the dark cover. These two players will be able to hold off the guarded side. Trixie trying to enter in. He has multiple players to fight off against, and even with little HP, Excali will make that frag come into the favor of Orangutan. And the last one, right to Ace and Arike. All Arike has to do is buy enough time, but he will be able to buy the frag for himself. Orangutan with the first round in favor, run into an anti-eco.
Yeah, and it was a good first round, of course. But as good as they started, Sarafa, it was a little too damaging. They did not expect Raw Fuel to be up so close in front. Karma did not at all know that. And in the end, it was Excali who made it all work as Orangutan turned that round back to, from a 3v5, by the way. They were 3v5 down, and the three players alive were good enough to win this round. Is now no force, but a good stack read here from Sarafa, as they've got four players stuck towards A. They have spotted out where the Jet is. They know he's probably in either the right side of Wines, but he's been checked there. He's not going to be there, of course. Deadly on site, so they know that he's on the right side corner of that site. So they should be aware of that one position. Out goes the drone. Should be checking out one. He will be detected. Will be spammed. Yes, he will. Out comes Aziz. Out of nothing, to be honest.
With zero chances of winning the fight, as he still goes in and makes capitalization on the weaponry advantage that OG has for themselves. However, enough damage has been done. All Team Sarafa needs right now is one more frag. This round is not even supposed to be a question for Team Sarafa, to be honest, but all they want is one more frag to actually damage Orangutan's economy to a point where the next round can actually be capitalized on majorly on the weaponry disadvantage. But well, Trixie will fail to deliver on that one. With only two players lost, the second round will go into the favor of Orangutan with a good enough weaponry to roll into the third one.
Yeah. Decent round from Sarafa as well, dropping two weapons. Not too much, of course, but decent enough as they will be able to buy in. Right to Ace does have his Odin up, and he is stationed towards B, so expect a bit of a bullet train to travel across these walls. He is calling out to his teammate to break the recon if it does come in, which is not going to be the case. Right to ace, no spotting whatsoever for the moment, as Antidote just has his turret placed on, but Deadly finds a great first shot. He gets a second as well, as OG eat up a couple, but we've seen them to retrieve themselves from these positions, so they should be good to still win this round. We cannot count them out whatsoever, but the control that Marzel is taking towards A main is really dangerous because he could find that Omen in an unwanted position. He's actually stopped and taking control. That's about it. Deadly's still going on his rampage, as OG are probably going to be losing their bonus.
Well, the bonus definitely wasn't supposed to be a one round for OG, but still, damage was definitely expected to be created towards the side of Team Sarafa. However, with the way Deadly is playing, it seems like nobody's gonna die from his team. Ready with his aim onto Kelly. He gets another one. He's ready for the last with the ace. He will close off the fire round that came in for Team Sarafa. And out they go with the first round in their favor, damaging Orangutan completely to the bones.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a fault from Orangutan because they went in towards mid with practically no utility and try to maybe dry peek and get a little info. But Deadly, when he's on his best form, he can be one of the best players, I would say, young players of this region. And he's shown why he deserves to be the main man, the jet for his team here. As once again, with that early ace, he's enabled himself to get really... Actually, he's gotten his Blade Storm, so he doesn't need to worry about his economy. He can actually drop off for a teammate if at all they lose this round as well. For now, Orangutan exploring options across mid a little bit more heavily as they've got 3 players here. Maybe Catwalk is the option, but look at that A push once again. They want to explore this. Deadly's ready for the swing, and out they go, and they get the kill. RBK being lost here. He's a huge problem because now they've got no smokes to cover up these angles, and Orangutan might be in a little bit trouble. They could show a bit of a panicky push here, and that's exactly what's coming in from Market.
Well, Kelly is trying to move in from Market. However, his friends cannot accompany him from the main area because already after being spotted, there isn't much that can be done by Antidote with the Odin standing tall. Karma will get a frag for himself, make it 2, and that just leaves nobody on the side of Orangutan to actually go ahead and change the result of this particular round. Fuel solo survivor, probably not gonna survive for long either, and he just has to run around with that one single weapon that he has in hand.
Yeah, it is gonna be a save from Fuel unless he wants to go for a bit of a hunt. He did spot out Marzel there, but he's actually going to go towards A and get a free plant. This is a little bit of free money that he's going to be, just
10 seconds
cashing
left.
in. And as it goes down, he will have a recon coming in about 3 seconds as well. He could actually take a couple of aggressive fights and make this possible. He's done this before with the Jet, but can he do it with the Sova is the question. He's waiting for the swing in now. But Death is playing the save, but he gets the one. Fuel needs to be careful. He's got a flank coming in, but he does not win the fight that's in front of him. Deadly will take him down, and Sarafa will be getting their second round in a row. A good round as well, as Deadly once again shines, and Marzel too.
Well, there was definitely some economic stability that was being sieged by Team Sarafa. However, after winning 2 consecutive rounds, they do find themselves in a place where they can afford to lose a round and still continue with good enough weaponry, and that's the kind of place they wanted to be in. However, this round itself is hardly going to be a loss because on the other side, with a Hero Guardian, we can see the rest of the team running on Sheriffs after being pushed onto a safe for having lost 2 rounds in a row. Orangutan in a very difficult situation. Being able to plant definitely gave them a little bit of a wiggle room, but that's about it. There isn't much that can happen for OG right now.
Marzel, I think he just took the right amount of steps where you cannot hear the footsteps come in, and he gets away actually scratch free here. OG gonna take a bit of their time as they allow Antidote to actually crawl in, but he's got eyes looking towards his direction. Deadly is ready for that, and OG taking a bit of their time to come in for the attack. Let's see how they actually approach this.
It's gonna be some dead space that they are working on. Now Deadly's position has been revealed. The turret will be used to make sure that the push can be held off for a second. And in the meanwhile, everyone will redirect from site A and move in towards site B. Orangutan ready for the fight. They have entrance from market that will not only give them an entry point but also make sure that there's a lot of area that is under their control. Making sure that market push is not possible for
30
the
seconds
players
left.
of Team Sarafa. They can find themselves the frags they need, but no, the Odin will just go ahead and claim the throne. This is getting difficult, but then again, there are recovered weapons that Oji can work
One
with.
enemy remaining.
Yeah, but Karma, he shuts them down on the back of B side. He plays with patience, and we know that that's exactly what he's known for. He plays with the minds of his opponents, and that's exactly what he's done here. Better for the round victory than to fight and wait for time. Sarafa with the third in a row. Really good stuff here as they start off, but Orangutan, they function on a bit of a momentum game. Yes, they take sometimes a little while to charge up, but they've got 3 big ultimates right now, and they will not be afraid to use it. It seems there's going to be a complete A strike here from the whole team. They wait for the knife to come in from Marzo, but nothing of that sort is going to be here because Marzo is towards B. And they've now seen the knife on the map, and that's exactly why they're making their moves at A. And Excali, there comes the ultimate from him. Deadly, though, has been forced off his angle. No dash available, but he still gets the kill. And that's the big one. Although Excali can be revived, he's losing his teammates one after the other. Deadly goes in for the peak once again, and he actually gets away with it. Sarafa on high ground here as they completely just tear apart this attack of Orangutan.
This was not what Orangutan was wanting.
Placing swamp grenade.
They've
Swamp
lost
grenade out.
a very possible round already. However, the expense has been only 1 ultimate out of 3. That's still an expense that they wouldn't like to be on the side of. But well, Deadly with that 3k will be able to secure another round for the side of Team Sarafa. But this individual brilliance, I don't think it can keep on continuing for really long. And that lack of replication might give OG the option that they need to actually go ahead and acquire their own standing into this map.
Yeah, a really, really good start here from the side of Sarafa, of course, because Deadly finding that first pick was so important. But what was more important was Tricky getting that kill under Heaven. If he hadn't found Aziz there, who, by the way, went in all solo gun, I'm not quite sure why, but the rest of the team was still struggling to enter in. Aziz, I believe, connected a shot onto Karma, who has been pushed away from his mark, but Marzo's been set up for success here as he's been baited out. Karma, never mind, they check it. Aziz takes him out, and now he's feeling a little bit himself.
Nice.
Goes in straight for the jump and dash. Opens up the A side, but there's still one to worry about, and that's the Jet. Misses his first shot. Deadly is going to play a little bit more safer as the Jet on the other side is itching for these fights. His confidence with those first 2 kills is popping up.
Aziz is completely ready for this fight with Deadly, and Deadly so far shooting in the blank, shooting in the dark. Not really finding anything for himself. And Orangutan in the meanwhile with complete control of the site, already looking forward to make this retake impossible for the side of Team Sarafa.
Yep. Tricky needs to save this one, and so does Deadly. They do have economy, but it's better to save this operator and keep the big weapon in their hands instead of reinvesting into it. They have nobody coming in their direction right now, so they're completely safe for the moment. But they've lost an important round on the back of just one Aziz entry. What a kill he got. The first one he got, you know, was absolutely insane because Marzo was set up there pretty perfectly. Aziz expected it, and then the second one even better because he just jumped, swung out, shot one blade to the head, and then dived right into a short, took control, and that was it. Orangutan won that round just on the back of 2 kills.
They sure did, they sure did. Let's see how they're going to capitalize on this because so far they're not in the lead, and Team Sarafa definitely needs to make sure that they can change this around.
Ooh. What?
Oh, goodness. Okay, Deadly, we see you there. This is a Jet versus Jet entry question mark that they've put up here. Just when we started praising Aziz for his entry, here's Deadly with his denial.
Yeah, quite the bit as well. The denial. It was not even the denial. I would just say it's more of a shutdown because he went for the kill himself and he had actually practically nothing to do there. He just waited for the knife to fall in, and the minute it did, it was all deadly. He shot. He actually got kind of lucky because Orangutan could have been a lot more aggressive. They were a little bit holding for that angle, but it kind of blew up in their faces. Marzel this time with the operator as he switches up with Deadly. That recon is great, actually. Holds him off for another second and a good fragment to keep him off there, making sure that this B side will not be taken from its choke point. As Aziz now is gonna hope that that Killjoy lockdown gives him a little bit of space to play with because his dash has gone away.
Well, this is gonna be a difficult fight, difficult entry for Aziz, but he spotted the barrel. He can go in for the frag, and with the detain, he gets onto Deadly. The numbers still don't look good for Orangutan though. In a 2v4 situation, planting definitely will get you 300 extra creds and an ult orb, but that's about it. You cannot expect to stick around here.
One enemy remaining.
Oh yeah, Karma, he gets the wall, and then the last man standing will also be taken down. Antidote only good for right to ace as this round also trickles down the way of Sarafa. What a great round here, especially from Deadly. The first 2 kills just sent a little bit of a warning to Orangutan saying, you don't aggress this, I will. He didn't even care about anything else. He just went through the knives, he got the kill. All he needed was one good flash, and Marzel was there to provide that. Really well done here from Deadly as he secures another round for his team thanks to his early heroics. And Sarafa are leading 5-3 on a map that Orangutan have been, I would say, kind of unbeaten on in the recent past.
True that. It's a very defaulty map, and with the defaulty composition, both teams have stepped in. However, you cannot deny the fact that this map with this composition does favor defense a lot. So being on the attacking side, only having a short rounds doesn't really change that much for OG. But well, in this current position, having given away the location to the recon dart will give a lot of trouble to the team, but Karma, he will be able to come back out on top of this. And OG will have very little to retaliate upon.
Yeah, RVK, he will have his ultimate available to him. He can go with the spike to the B side, but he's instantly been shut down by a double swing by the experienced duo that we've always witnessed together right from their Velocity days. Of course, I'm not talking about Karma here. He was alive in this round. He got 2. He has left, and he's done his job as now Marzel looking to clutch and finish off this round. Rolfio is trying to play with the sound cues here. He wants a bit of information, but he's not getting anything. Instead, he gives a bit away. He swings out for the 1, and he actually gets that tap onto Tricky. But now a crossfire that's practically unbeatable. Shock dart to, a little bit sweet spot on to get a little sweet spot on Marzel. He does not have any way to pull out right to ways from his hiding hole. Time is not his best friend. He needs that spike right now. 6 seconds, 5. He gets the first kill, and he's got no more time to get this round in his cover because right to ways has just run away from him. He's hiding on top of a pizza. He wants to have a pizza because he has clutched out this round.
Well, very well deserved round for the side of Team Sarafa. An early advantage they were able to create and then also capitalize on it all through. Beautifully done. And look at the ultimate economy on Team Sarafa. Being on the defensive side, it is very helpful to have your ultimates online. And having all of them online, that's just a cherry on top. Orangutan has a lot of work to do, and I think that's exactly what they're looking forward for with this timeout.
Yep. OG need a bit of a rejuvenation of their form because they've kind of lost their, mojo in the first 9 rounds that we played. Their attack isn't as good as we've used it to, we've seen it to be because of the very fact that Deadly has just been shutting them down left, right, and center. He peeks at A with the operator. He goes towards B with a rifle and sprays down 2. He's been kind of causing menace in ways that OG actually didn't expect. Sarafa are a team that have been, in the way that we've seen them play in the past couple of matches, professionally that they played, they've been a lot more disciplined. Here, they're taking risks, and I really like it, and it's paying off. You can see that, right? And as a result of it, they just allow Deadly to be, the kind of expendable, person on the team who, even if he loses the fight, they know that they can manage up because the Jet doesn't provide any more value unless he's, fighting the chances that he can get. And that's exactly where they're setting him for these fights, and they're making him, win it thanks to the utility that they're providing him. And now that OG do have a timeout come in on the back of an eco, the plan is actually for the next round. They do have a little bit of an A stack here, but how this is going to work out seems to be yet to find.
Well, OG does not really aim to win this one, obviously, because this one is going to be super, super difficult. But then again, as you mentioned, the plans for the next round will be coming in, and probably this round will be used to condition a little bit on that. However, with one hero weapon, they are trying to move in, and if they're able to take Deadly down, that will be one super force taken off the team. But wait a second, Deadly gets onto RVK without any spot given to the man. And Merzel with his 3k will be able to finish off the round for the side of Team Sarafa on a single man loss.
Yeah, absolutely. Deadly again shining out at the right time, but it was actually Marzel and Karma there who held down the fort on towards the A side, made sure that Deadly losing his life there was not going to be in vain. They made sure that they traded off and got everybody. 7-3, Sarafa taking the lead here in the first half by the bare minimum. If at all, it does go more. It looks likely to go more, as they have been in top-notch form. Once again, they aggress towards A, and Marzo gets a buckload of information. He suppressed 3 players there, and he's going to tell his team to get a little bit of an early rotate. You can see it. Karma's made his way already. He smoked off A main, but OG, they've got other plans. They want to explore mid now. They know that their jig's up, and now they will be looking to find if at all Catwalk is available to them.
Here.
Well, so far it does seem like Team Sarafa will be playing slightly on the back foots, not yet trying to aggress over onto the players of OG, waiting for the fights to come to them. It's going to be a standstill for both the teams because OG does not want to aggress either. They want to take it slow. They want to take their time. Probably waiting to drain more utilities from the side of Team Sarafa so that it's an easier post-plan scenario. But for that, they have to plant quickly. And yes, the fake has been sold pretty well. Site B will be open for the taking. Just to be staying aware of Nanoswarm, though they could get in the way a lot.
30 seconds left.
Right call at the right time. As you said, it was activated, but they've got time here. That KO ultimate is going to be a bit of a pain in their behind because it is not allowing them to do anything with their utility, but Antidote actually takes Marzo down. But unfortunately for Sarafa, he's in a bit of an open spot right to Ace. He gets hit, but Marzo, he's been brought back onto his feet. Out comes the Hunter's Fury as they're saving grace, but they don't need it. All they need is their aim. Defender Killjoy locked on has been destroyed thanks to that Hunter's Fury, as now Orangutan have taken this round into their hands. And I will tell you why the reason they've taken this round. For the only reason being that they finally played around the way they usually do. This A short push in and then fake towards A and go back towards mid is a default strategy of Orangutan. They do it almost every single time they're on Ascent. There's always 1 round or maybe 2 rounds on their attack that they lurk up towards A, give a little bit of info, go back towards, A short to maybe give out a bit of a fake, and then they throw in as much rechargeable utility as possible, and then instantly have the player who's in towards mid get a push in, and they go follow him and find B up absolutely for free. And thanks to good ultimate usage of the Hunter's Fury, they will find that round because they destroyed the Killjoy lockdown, and here we are, the Killjoy still causing damage as Antidote gets a great first kill.
Absolutely, and to follow up, Aziz will also make sure that he has one on Karma, and then Raw Fuel takes Marzel down as well, making it a 2v5 in which the utilities from the side of Team Sarafa now do not really even happen to be the ones that can actually get them the round. These are the agents that help you hold the fort, not the ones that help you retake as much. The intel will be there, but how do you capitalize on it? A good frag coming in. Trixie is already on his roll, but Aziz with the Blade Storm will be able to shut him
enemy
down.
remaining.
Right to ace though, trying to ace this out for the
Deploying
team.
drone.
However, Rafuel will be able to shut the Sova down. A good
Switching.
mirror fight going in the favor of Orangutan, and finally it seems like they are gonna be in a comfortable swap.
Yep, it did get a little too dusty towards the end there. Tricky finding the two, but Aziz, he covers up for his teammates, gets the most important frag right to ace. Also came in a little too close, found 2 kills, almost said, yeah, no, I'm right to clutch here. But Rafuel was ready for that fight. His aim, as always, on point. He has been fragging out for his team. He's been the forefront, as you can see, 13 frags on his name. But most of them have come in the first half at the end of the rounds where his team has ended up losing those rounds. Thankfully, though, they've been able to manage and recover a little bit of lost ground. 7 and 5 is not too bad at all, as they start off on a defense with a B attack coming their way.
Well, on defense, it's going to be slightly easier for this team with the composition they are running. But wait a second. With that shock dart right to ace, will be able to take Antidote down. However, the rest of the team coming in does not even check the switch. Gets taken down by
One
Marcel,
enemy
and now
remaining.
Trixie and Marcel will be able to actually take the fight forward,
Hold on.
making them win a round that wasn't even supposed to be theirs.
Okay, first of all, the first 2 kills that they got, really great. Right choice trades it off. And the Sova, of course, trying to stay alive there. But I did not understand this bit of movement here from Aziz. He comes out of the smoke alone, by the way. Nobody actually follows him up there. So there's going to be no trade. And Tricky was there a little bit more passively towards a lane. And he gets the 2 kills that are the most important. The final kill, of course, the 1v1 that he wins. And the one before that, which does not settle in my mind well, because Aziz took that fight alone. He had nobody cover off towards, you know, a switchboard, and he lost that fight and nobody to trade it up. A little confusing. OG slightly off their mark today, I would say, in the first map at least. But let's see how they make up for it as the rounds go by.
A little bit of an overextension from the side of Antidote here. He had to hold the site, but well, he had all the remaining players of the team still trying to cover up for him, but he still had to go ahead, take a fight that he knew was against multiple players. Lost it, given early advantage to Team Sarafa, and Team Sarafa just capitalizing on those numbers constantly. With blind sprays and better weapons, they are still able to go ahead and squeeze another round with almost negligible loss.
Yep, just the 1 player lost, but that's completely a-okay as Sarafa put up 9 on the board. And all of this is just leading to the fact that Sarafa might just pick up their first map against OG on OG's map pick, by the way. This is Orangutan's taking Ascent. Let's see how this is going to end up, because this is the first buy round for the defense. They've got a bit of a default setup once again. No real pushes or proactive movements here. Just a little bit towards mid. Maybe they want Aziz to get a spam down toward the smoke, but Deadly, he's heading in towards short. A good flash cover up there, but nobody to fight. And he's taking a lot of ground over here. Going up towards heaven, takes the first fight, and he wins it as well. But he's got support. They could hold him off. Out comes Aziz, but he gets 2.
Nice.
He comes in through the Nano Swarm. And that's a great trade up, and add 1 to that as well.
Beautifully executed from the side of OG. Antidote still holding his ground on side B just in case anyone tries to go back into side B, while the remaining team makes sure that side A is completely fortified. Not even trying to actually initiate fights anymore. They're just waiting for the battle to happen. Oh, Rafuel can get here.
remaining.
Onto Marcel, he will.
Healing area.
And with that recon, now he might soon enough know where we can find a right to ace as well.
Yeah. Final player left. He's got the spike on his back, and he does get 1 kill. That's an upgraded weapon, but he's got a player waiting for him. Aziz almost kind of whiffed that because right away swung him far too wide, but in the end, the shots do connect. This first take, though, was really good. They got so much control, but unfortunately, what they didn't expect is that Aziz was so far into that smoke that he could have just swung out on the back of that Nano Swarm. And a bit of a misread. It was a good idea, but unfortunately, the position of Aziz was not expected to be that close. And thanks to him, Orangutan put up a 6th on the board. And a full buy battle coming in for the first time in the second half as Sarafa with an interesting setup here. They've got the Sova towards B, outside of B and mid, as three players explore outside of A. Rotations already being called in for Orangutan. You can see that happening. RVK spots out one, gets the smoke down, and Excali's actually found one as they try to take the fight. That's a bit of overcommitment, I would say, from Sarafa. And maybe they misjudged their fights. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but it wasn't the right decision.
Great support coming in from the side of RVK. His paranoia definitely helped the team quite a bit to get them early two frags, and now they are just
Spike
running on
down
confidence. This fuel does not run out for OG. However, overextending is something they might do. They have to be very careful of being in control of their aggression. With Strixie being the last one remaining, it's gonna be super easy to go ahead and fight that last battle. Do lose a player, but it's all okay for OG so far.
Yeah, they're building up their round slowly, and of course, this was a really important round for them to win. Let's find out how much further they can take this, though, because Sarafa now, I believe, are on a bit of a semi-buy / eco, so this is going to be Orangutan's time to pounce on them and find that lost lead. Here we go. Deadly looking to pick up that orb towards A main so that his knives can be enabled, but Excali might deny that. The knife is going to be a little bit late, I believe. It does get him. It gets actually two players there. Make that three, actually. They detect three players.
I can't use that.
As Orangutan, still no real change of plans. Nobody's trying to push in. They've left Aziz towards A short. He's holding a really good off angle here in case somebody decides to cross over towards mid. Out comes the recon to support him in case they need information about anybody being close to him towards catwalk. But no, Sarafa are heading towards B.
Well, site B entry is going to be quite difficult considering that the nano swarms will be in the way alongside the alarm bot, and that can give up a lot of information. Being in a vulnerable state, Deadly just walks into the site, but he's literally a guest of a few bullets, and with that he has been welcomed into the site with death on hand. Karma being the last one standing gets a couple for himself, but none in a position where he can recover a weapon and go for a better fight. With Spike, Sight, and numbers all against, Team Sarafa will lose another round.
Oh boy. Of course, it was an eco, so no real chance of them actually getting through that round, although they did have a good try. But Deadly losing his life there was really unfortunate because he had himself covered off by two angles. Rafio came in at the right time and made sure that the minute Deadly popped out of his smoke, he was going to be, facing off two players in two different angles, and even before he could actually take a decent fight towards Antidote, Rafio took him down, and that was practically the end of the round right there because Deadly was their, winning condition. An instant knife towards B main from the attack. They do spot Rafuel, I believe, as Sarafa are trying to sell a little bit of a fake here, as far as I can see.
Scanning ahead.
Let's see how it turns around for Sarafa, because so far, Orangutan does have most of the area fortified for Site B. And if you talk about Site A, there's multiple players present. Alarmbot giving up information onto Deadly, but still the control on OG, not trying to immediately try and take a fight, is going to keep them in a better position. However, now that the Alarmbot has already been triggered, they are also going to be super unaware of when the push is coming in.
Antidote. He's still predicting a bit of a mid push, but he does have raw fuel to first bait him out if at all that does happen. But no, the attack is going towards a short, and there's quite a bit of a stack here. They've got a good ultimate as well to use it, and Excali activates it. RVK is in a good position to find multiple, but he needs to be unchecked. He spots one, and Rafuel just getting him one. Rafuel, he gives him the bait needed. The amount of distraction caused allows RVK to find two, as Antidote comes in from heaven, and he finds the last two by himself. 9-9, Orangutan make up for the first half and the first two rounds of the second half as well.
Beautifully done by OG. They are kinda mounting onto their lead on the defensive side, and we can see why they have picked this map in particular. Since the second half, the first 2 rounds is all Team Sarafa got, as you mentioned. And since then, the role of OG has been on. Whether you buy or save, it's always OG that is coming back up on the ground. Let's see how this one turns around. So far, it seems like Site B will again be a hard call.
Yep, it might just be. They've thrown in the recon to get a little bit of information, but towards A short Aziz. Oh my god!
Nice!
Good, instant reaction from there. I was gonna say good, but that's instant reaction that worked out perfectly. And Raw Fuel gets one through the smoke. Okay,
Wow.
Raw Fuel with a second as well. Absolutely maniacal there. Criminal for him to get away with two. Excali finds the penultimate, and Aziz now hungry for more. But it is going to go to the hands of RVK as he finds his alter ego. It is going to be Orangutan to take the lead, ladies and gentlemen, as the game might have just turned around.
Well, the tables have turned, and now it seems like OG is in a very comfortable spot because look at that. Not only have they won the round that put them on the lead, they have won it in a flawless fashion with 0 losses taken for the team. But then again, at this point, whether they lose players or not, it's not a loss at all to begin with because I'm pretty sure they have maxed out their caps on economy. They cannot have more. But yeah, not losing any players means you're not giving any extra alarms to the opposite team.
Ooh.
And that's crucial at this point.
Yep, they're trying to keep Aziz off his mark because they know they need to win that fight, but they don't
So
expect
beautiful.
Antidote in this corner. They actually just focus on the operator and they don't try to actually check their corners. Sarafa losing out a lot of ground here, but they've got a big ultimate to actually win this round. Rafuel, he's got his angle to shoot down because there's no smoke at the moment available for the attackers. It's a 4v2. It seems unlikely that they do anything here. Tricky, he's been covered up from multiple angles, and it doesn't matter that the players on site have been detained because they've got cover from market. They're not going to let their players die. Orangutan with 11 on the board, and this game has turned on its head.
Absolutely amazingly done by OGA. Once again, they are literally one step away from being on the match point. Very late, but into the game, the timeout comes in from the side of Team Sarafa as well, and I think it's about time that something changes in their gameplay. The adjustments have to come in because OG is constantly capitalizing on their game plan and is not giving any room to Team Sarafa. For a really long time, OG felt like they weren't in their actual form. Once they went into Ascension, we started seeing the most fearless team of our region become slightly scared of every single opponent that they faced. But then coming back, they did find their footing and they're still unbeatable here.
Yep, it seems like it. Let's find out how exactly this game is going to turn for Orangutan because, of course, Sarafa, they do have quite a bit of, brain power to utilize, but Orangutan have been reading them, if not by the way of, strategy, they've been positioning themselves well enough to just take good fights. That's been their game plan. It's just about Orangutan finding better positions, playing at right timings. No real counters apart from that here from Orangutan. They're not really proactive with their defense. They're playing on a bit of reaction here. As now, Sarafa heading towards mid with a big ultimate. They will clear out this entire market region. But Antidote is in a good region to stop this. Rafuel, though, he does it himself. Antidote turns around towards B. Made it fight two.
Well, Deadly was able to trade him back, but only after a loss of 2 already, and Raw Fuel was even able to capitalize onto that final frag. There it is, OG with their match point in hands, and it seems like with the way they are playing, it's not going to be a long run before they win this one.
Yep, absolutely. Match point up for Orangutan. They didn't even need to use any ultimates. They've got one on the hands of Antidote. And on the opposite side, right to Ace, while he does have the counter for it, his team and himself don't have the weaponry to fight this game out. And we are now heading into a full B hit, it seems, as they have no other choice but to desperately fish out for a round in any way possible, by hook or by crook. Antidote goes in for a fight once again. This time he gets away. He's got his ultimate secured in, but Karma, he knows that's going to happen, so he goes in straight for the fight. He did give him a bit of a gap in the smoke there, and he used it to his own advantage. One after the other, they entering the site, but it's only Sarafa that are getting the trades from Karma at this point. It's a 2 versus 3. The plan needs to go down, but can they hold off these final 3 players of Orangutan?
Well, it's going to be slightly difficult as no utilities remain for the side of Team Sarafa to actually fight this off once they plant the spike. The numbers are already not in the favor. The rechargeable utility has also been used already. One single agent detected, making it harder for them to know where the remaining ones are. Alarm will give up information but not save the frag. And there, OG will go ahead, find the last few frags and also the defusal. A victory that was very well decorated for them gets given to them as well.
Absolutely. Orangutan, they stopped the bleeding at 9 rounds of Sarafa. The minute they win the pistol, and they went further ahead to win the anti-eco, that was it. Orangutan said, you know what, we're done. We're not going any further than this. We're gonna stop the bleeding, as we will be now the ones to cause the hurt. And one round after the other, Orangutan did quite literally the simplest things ever. Positioned themselves well. That was it. They just took their fights at the most opportunistic moment. They found themselves with a little bit of team play, making sure that they bait out for the one and play off of each other's, targeting. And the minute that happened, Sarafa started becoming a little bit more panicky. They stopped checking their corners. They stopped, figuring out the ways that they need to move into sights on their attack, and it just kind of broke down in a way that we didn't expect, because Sarafa, they had good utility usage, but unfortunately their fights were not being picked off right. They were not winning their 1v1s. Deadly kind of fell silent on the attacking side. As good as he was on the defense, his attack just wasn't striking up to the mark that we were hoping it to be. And this map again as well is going to be Orangutans for the taking. I really hope for Sarafa to actually pull this one through, so maybe we could have seen a third mapper here, but this again might end up being a 2-0 as far as it seems.
Absolutely, it's very well seeming like one of those days when we only get 2 maps each match, because Orangutan, the way they are playing, the confidence is back, the roll is on, and it seems like Sarafa is kind of getting intimidated by the team as of now. But well, again, you can never underestimate the players of Sarafa. They have been here for a really long time, and they have been unfurling their flag all across. So I am hoping for a comeback to happen into the second map, but then again, that hope is not gonna be 100% faith upon.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the significantly vivid problem of their attack was the fact that the minute they lost Deadly, which was pretty much in almost every single round, their attack kind of hazied off. They didn't exactly know where they could actually find their avenues to open up with. And even if Deadly was alive, there were 2 rounds in particular that I can point out where he, again, was not traded off, especially that mid-round where Aziz was being pushed off. We saw he had the operator, he was in market, and Angela was sitting in pizza. That round was so evident of the fact to showcase that Sarafa, they had the jet, they were using him well for space and information, but the trade-off of that jet was not coming in, because Antidote was not checked. Even the second player who came through did not check him. And as a result of that, they lost out on big fights that should have actually been round-winning kills. And as you can see on the scoreboard as well, after that first half, Deadly kind of fell silent. It was mostly Amaterasu who was winning out his fights. And although he does have 20 kills to his name, most of the side of Sarafa was quiet except for the top 2. Marzo was a little bit struggling. Tricky could not perform to his best as well. I've seen him absolutely tear through opponents with that Killjoy, but this time it just wasn't the case. And Right to Ace, unfortunately, had no impact in terms of the fragging potential that we've seen him to have in previous games. But hey, we've seen this team pick up on their individual statistics in just the turnaround of a single map. So maybe the next game of Lotus could be telling us a different story.
Hopefully we'll see a different story on Lotus, because in this particular one, right to ace on 9 frags himself, and look at the mirror Sova with 28 of his own. It's more than double. He is
Yep.
just going berserks on Sova. I mean, I was kinda dicey, kinda spectac. Uh, I'm losing words right now. I'm so sorry. I
That's
forgot
all
how to
right.
pronounce skeptical. Now I remember it. Kind of
Yeah, it
skeptical of
happens.
having the switch between Rafuel and Aziz, but it worked out. It worked out very well. I mean,
It
this
most
is
certainly did.
great.
It most certainly
342
did.
ACS.
Yeah,
That's a huge
absolutely. Agreed. And at the back of the statistics, we can see Rafael, of course, was the most impactful member of this squad. He does find himself with 28. He's got a big gap between him and Aziz, but Aziz also did quite a bit of the work, and not to discredit Antidote as well, who, by the way, multi rounds with multi kills, and overall a great team, a second half performance from Orangutan as they shut down Sarafa in their tracks. And now we head into map number 2, which is going to be quite the contest, which of course has been chosen by Sarafa. So let's see how it all ends up, because, ladies and gentlemen, Orangutans seem to have awoken from their grisly sleep.
They did, and we just have to see who is gonna be the wilder one on the map of Lotus. But that will happen after this tiny little break. See you on the other side. Hello
Oh,
and
well,
welcome. Never mind.
okay.
I'll give it to you.
I'm
I'll
losing.
give it to you.
No. Okay, thank you. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have now come back to map number 2. A little bit of a technical glitch on my side. Sorry, I was lagging in real life because I thought I've got better ping. But ladies and gentlemen, we have got a game on our hands, which potentially could lead us to a map number 3. Now, Lotus is what's coming up next. But I'm a little concerned if this pick of Lotus is actually going to help Sarafa, because Ascent kind of was in their control for quite some time, and then it kind of slipped away. And this has kind of been the thing around them as well. Sarafa, like I mentioned earlier, their kryptonite, forgive me, has been Orangutan.
Well, in front of their kryptonite, they did not really stand a very winning chance, and we saw that already. But on this one, let's see if they are going to be able to change things around. It's a 3-sided map. The defense on this is slightly more difficult. And defense is the side where Orangutan finally made their comeback into the last map. So let's see how this one turns around, because so far the composition makes me feel like this one might not be a very attack-favored composition after all.
Well, let's find out, because we do have quite a bit of a similarity here. A Viper and Omen is not something you see every day, by the way. There's a lot of difference in the other regions around the world, the way they play on Lotus. But here, we do have pretty much the same model, it seems, as we will be heading into the game in just about a second, ladies and gentlemen. On the back of this slight bit of course, delay that we do have in terms of us showing our faces, is what I meant to say. No delay in the match. But I do want to ask you, Anna, do you think Orangutan might finish this game off here on Lotus, or are Sarafa actually going to be able to pull something miraculous here? Because both the times we've seen the compositions of both these teams have been exactly the same, previous game and this game. And as we've seen in the past as well, Orangutan have been supreme in pretty much every single game that they faced off.
Absolutely, and I do believe that Orangutan will be able to close this off on this map itself, because they have had a literally really long history of not dropping a single map in a series, in a whole tournament, for like a plethora of time. Since the time I started watching Orangutan, I've hardly seen them lose a map, and that's been only once, and that was towards the finals of the tournament that put them into the Ascension. So I'm not really, thinking that this can actually be a place where they start to lose. But if they do, that's great for us and for Team Sarafa, because then they have a fighting chance and we get to see one more map.
There.
Oh yeah, Aziz going up so aggressive here. He's in actually a really good position, and they could bait him out twice as well, because they've got both Antidote and the Omen there, which I believe is RV. I'm not quite sure. Is that Excali? Excali is playing the Omen? I
would
think.
expect
Yeah, Excali. Yeah,
to be-
Excali's.
Wow,
Yeah, I think he's
okay.
playing the Omen, or it's probably Antidote, I think, who's playing the Omen, and Excali might be playing the Fade there. Yep. Actually, it's
We'll find out.
Excali who's playing. Excali's playing the Omen. Oh, that's a big kill. Ralphio getting
Ralphio?
tricky there.
Oh goodness, this time around Team Sarafa trying to go in, balance the number of players, but Orangutan still on the upper end of it, making sure that they have enough damage done to go ahead and acquire this round. Now,
One
the
enemy
HP on the
remaining.
players of Team Sarafa, even with the
Ooh.
numbers, this is looking pretty difficult, and that too against Raw Fuel being the
Plant the
last
spike.
player standing. We know him for his
He's
striking
right
potential,
behind them.
and that's
He's right
exactly what he
behind
wants to
them.
work
Left.
on. He is, and
Deadly's
that's
not
no
looking
idea
to
on
fix that.
Deadly.
Oh man, right choice is so darn low, and now he spotted
He came
Ralphio,
up in
but he
position.
does not have. Yep, he does not have enough health. Right to Ace has not even gone for the plant yet. There comes another spot. Right to Ace is going to try and maybe fight this out towards the longer region
10
of this
seconds
A
left.
site. But he goes for the plant. He has
Spike
time
planted.
as well. But he's really low, and Ralphio will make the good use of that fact. Orangutan win on the back of a bit of I would say misplay from Sarafa, misread. They were thinking that Ralphio is going to be coming in from A main itself, and he held that angle for so long. He didn't check his backstab at all. Like, of course, there's a really clear possibility that Rafio can come in from the other angle. But yes, I agree that he did come in from a flank, so they were expecting him to come in from the main region itself. Unfortunately, Rafio loves playing the mind games just as much as the second person, so he's found round number 1 for his team.
Well, now moving into the anti-eco, being on the defensive side with the better weaponry definitely puts you on much higher position, because on the defensive side you do have lesser number of longer angles to fight off of, because you can actually hold the place and wait for the fights to come to you. But on the attacking side, running in with classics and sheriffs is going to be slightly more difficult, with longer range weapons already targeting onto your faces. We can already see an example of that with the first track coming in for the side of Orangutan, making it already a paralyzed game for Team Sarafa.
Yep, absolutely. They've lost another now. Antidote gets one more. He's holding down the angle, just throwing the Prowler. Out comes the kill from Aziz towards C Long as he gets the final as well. Of course, he's going to win that fight. No shot, he loses that. Orangutan with a clean round 2. Nobody lost, just a little bit of damage to their armor, nothing else. Great economically for them, and now they have a chance to go in for a bit of aggression towards A and shut down that choke point, with the bonus weapon, because of course they want to play it on close range. And Aziz, like I mentioned, has already on the back of that movement has made his way towards A. He's going to throw his grenade towards Rubble. He expects the Omen to teleport, and that's exactly what's probably going to be happening from attack as well. This is a good read from Orangutan. Oh, that comes in. The grenade's probably going to eat him up. Yeah, he survives. Okay.
He does survive. It was well timed from the side of Orangutan, but then again, Team Sarafa just turned out to be better on it. They had a read that this might happen, and certainly because of that, the positioning on Karma was slightly better. Let's see how it turns around, because still, with the numbers advantage, it will be a beneficial situation for Team Sarafa to go forward with. They get another to add on to the cherry of top. There they go, with a flawless reply to the last flawless that OG was able to secure.
Deadly. Really good entry from him, finding 3 in that round. He's been on his best in the first half of Ascent, and again in the first half of Lotus here. He's trying to showcase the same, but he needs to be consistent across the entire game if his team even want to think about taking down Orangutan. They need multiple players to keep clutching up. Aziz once again going for a bit of aggression towards A. Out comes the satchels this time as he wants to cover up for what was the cause of his death last time. Karma did take him out this time though. It is C that's been again faked. I would say they're probably looking to fake it, maybe rotate the doors and head in towards B, because they've still got a Killjoy and Viper out there. But for the moment, I'm a little bit confused as to what the movement of Sarafa is going to look like. Orangutan, they're not buying in too much here. Just a bit of utility destroyed towards B. The alarm bot has been taken out as a Tricky places one of his own there. Marzo. Oh, he's been spotted. His elbow's been seen. He went through his own wall. He spotted his elbow, and that's a mistake from him.
Well, the mistake will be very well punished from the side of Orangutan as well. And so far, it seems like the numbers advantage will definitely push Sarafa to a point where they have to make a decision and make it quickly. And in that haste, they might fall prey to the utilities that are already lined up from the side of Orangutan, already making entry difficult towards side C by using mollies after mollies. They are trying to force Sarafa towards side B, but then again, Sarafa is being pretty adamant onto their own move.
Yeah, they're not going to go through just because of a couple of Molotovs. Here they go in. Out comes the Haunt and the flashes as well. But time is not going to be their best friend. RVK makes sure of that with a spray down. Triple burst, triple kill. And Rolfie will shut down the last as a courtesy. Orangutan have to thank RVK here. And Sarafa, with no smoke to cover off towards spawn, swinging out one by one. Oh man, that is a hard loss to take. They had such good utility available except for one smoke. And now you see, ladies and gentlemen, how important a controller can be. So if you're that insta-locking jet in your ranked games, maybe you want to help the team by taking controller once in a while and giving them important bit of utility that can help you clutch out the rounds, maybe.
Hopefully they get the opportunity. As of now, it seems like there is a hard reinforcement coming in from the side of Orangutan, pushing Team Sarafa completely out of the doors. They are trying to find an entry into Side C. Showstopper will definitely give them a helping hand here. And with the frags coming in from the side of Team Sarafa, Orangutan will find them at a man disadvantage. They are trying to fight this off, but it's just not gonna be very easy with Deadly going on that rampage with his frags after frags situation. Aziz solo surviving, trying to fight this off. Not really easy, but not completely impossible either. Doesn't have many utilities to run with though.
Yep, now they know that he's on site. He's gonna try and play this for isolated fights, but he's got 3 players to worry about and a grenade that could blow up in his face as well. Paint shells are ready. Out it goes. Aziz is gonna try and stick it to half, and he actually is managing to get away from that blast as well. He's got quite a bit of health left as well. He might just get away with this if he's a little bit more careful. He goes for the edge diffuse stick. He will actually get it! Aziz!
How in hell do you do that? How does it become possible? Orangutan did not have any right to have this round in their favor. How scared is Team Sarafa right now to not really fight it off at the right time?
Oh man, Sarafa, what a mistake. They had everything in their hand. 3 versus 1, but they let a defuse stick down. That is a mistake that is actually unforgivable. They should have had Deadly just be in sight and play for a bit of a fight there. And the remaining 2 swing out. And they didn't realize that the plan can be actually stuck from the edge of that, circle. And the minute he stuck it, they were just spamming in towards the open-ended site, not through the wallbang either. And he just got away. Like I mentioned, he's got enough life in that previous round to stick that defuse down. And he did so. And that is Sarafa paying for their mistakes. Aziz, he jumps there to give a bit of a sound cue. I'm not quite sure why that is, but he wants to actually activate the showstopper, and he gets punished for his own bit of overconfidence. I think that jump was not intentional. I'm not quite sure. If it was, it's kind of the undoing of his own actions. But now he's left Excali alone, who will be detected and will be killed as well. Orangutan are losing out players, but they've got a big ultimate to work with for the retake of this round. That's on the Killjoy. Rafio, does he choose to go for that is the question. He's covering them up from door. B-Link, he needs to be careful of this close angle. Does he check it? Nah, he doesn't even get the chance to. Right away, he shuts him down. And RVK now, he's got information about 1 player in front of him, but does he check the right side corner? Oh, certainly. Oh, he actually does. He gets the kill as well, but he takes a headshot in return. And just like that, it's come down to a 1v3. This time, they win it, thankfully.
Thankfully, yes. I mean, it's been a long time since they've been losing even with man advantage. So this time, thankfully, they make sure that they're actually getting around in exchange of that. However, it's still going to be Orangutan who is on top of this board right now. And talking about the ultimates, it does seem like Orangutan will be the one with the most crucial ultimate online for themselves, while the one on Team Sarafa will only give them a little bit of information and probably the opportunity to rotate onto a new side, but not really as much value. I mean, personal opinion, probably controversial. I don't think From the Shadows does much.
Yep. Bit of an A push here once again, and Antidote has been detected. He needs to be a little bit cautious. He gets the first kill. Yes, he will. Deadly is dropped. He looks for the second, but unfortunately, not going to be enough. Karma takes him down. Orangutan put down that ultimate as it's a little bit passive, but it will deny the plant, it seems. And instantly, Sarafa tried to run away because Tricky, he's found the B site. RVK tries to chase him down, but he actually just runs into his death. He's in a bit of a movement transition, loses his life, and Excali will go down in the end as well. as Sarafa pick up 2 rounds back-to-back in a bit of a good momentum shift, as Orangutan now need to be a little careful about how they play these rounds because they're leaving players isolated on sites that could be taken down pretty easily, and they need to stop doing that. Maybe play a little bit more passive. If they're playing on the retake, play on a complete retake, but if they're playing on a site hold, maybe have a little bit more support with number of men and utility. Let's see how they take it further, though, because this round, I believe they're on a bit of a semi-eco.
Well, let's see how Orangutan is going to make this turn around because so far it seems like Team Sarafa is on their way towards an equalizer. This time around, they do have their players scattered around a little bit, but still not so thinly spread that they cannot make a way in. And an early aggression towards Site A from the side of Team Sarafa has already called in a rotation from Orangutan as well. This reactive gameplay coming in from the side of OG is making the whole control of the game shift into the hands of Team Sarafa. They are deciding what pace, what level the whole game will be on. But the frag from Aziz will be OP for OG. Look at that.
Oh, that Viper snakebite is so good in the right zone as well. RVK finds Tricky. He gets the final frag as well. The Sheriff sing the tunes of death as RVK and Aziz are enough to take this down. Excali got the first ball rolling, and then Aziz found 2 like it's nothing, and RVK at the right time was there to cover up for Aziz. Him putting that snake bite actually allowed Aziz to stay alive for a little longer because that snake bite stopped Karma from moving further. And once he, shifted his angle, RVK was ready for the swing, and him, of course, he is him on that Sheriff. We all know what RVK is known for when he wields that pistol.
Well, we can already see it firsthand in the game itself. This time around, Site C will be the wanted one for the side of Team Sarafa. And look at the stack on Site C. This is going to be super impossible to penetrate through. And if they do, there's already a good, proud moment for the team. The Nanoswarm already seems like will be damaging a lot on Karma, but he gets the first frag very easily. And with the lockdown coming in, the side of Team Sarafa will be able to find themselves an entry that they want.
Well, that ultimate is going to give them a lot of space and a detained player as well who's not going to be attacked. Oh, never mind. Deadly Tazen! Okay. For a second, he misses it. Maybe a little bit over-enthusiastic there for a second, but it's still okay because his teammates are covering up towards Waterfall. They find 2. And they make it down to a 5v1. Sarafa are looking for their 4th as they're not going to let this half slip away from their hands. They want to get a 6-6, if not a better scoreline from what they currently are at.
Still waiting.
Of course, they could still go on to find 7-5 in their favor. But OG, they've got a lot of tricks up their sleeve. Let's see how they respond in the following rounds because now I believe they will be on an eco. Handed out, trying to save his Vandal for as long as he possibly can, but he's being chased from so many different angles. He's got Marzel in front of him, and Marzel is gonna make him suffer with the snake bite at his feet as well. 5-4, and this was a bit of a comical moment, but Deadly still wins it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he thought maybe he's gonna actually go behind the wall, but RVK actually came in front too, and that was actually smart from him. Maybe he thought Deadly's actually gonna miss it. Either way, waste not, want not. Orangutan now again on the Sheriffs, but we've seen what they can do with these weapons, by the way, just a round ago.
True that. True that. We have seen them pick up a Thrifty for themselves, but that was very heavily dependent on RVK being at his best game. Let's see if he can bring out the same for the team again. This time, though, he is going to be the one holding the hero Vandal for the team. Let's see if RVK will be able to pull this off.
Well, they're rotating away instantly, it seems. And they've got a bit of a tail here. I'm pretty sure Aziz has spotted and heard that. So they're calling in for that A rotation pretty quickly. You can see the stack coming in here, one after the other. Aziz still holding on as the only man on C. And they've got the Viper on B to make sure that no, funny business of a lurker coming in here. The last time we saw Tricky doing that. And the A attack is just about imminent. Deadly taking in the turn towards Tree. He finds a hunt coming his way and a big bad nightfall as well. Raphael finds the first. The trades come in though. Excali once again with that Sheriff. He's proving himself really, really useful. RVK, he's got a Vandal to work with, but can this Viper Spit be taken off is the question. 30 seconds. Do they choose to rotate? Yes, they are seemingly doing that. They take out the only Vandal,
left.
and this is a 2v3 now.
The Vandal has been recovered by Aziz, and on his hands it can
player
do
standing.
miracles, but this is not gonna be one of those days. With only one man surviving, there's not much that can be done by Excali.
Oh, he gets the one big
okay,
kill.
never
Now the
mind.
plant could be in his hands.
10 seconds left. Spike
Just
planted.
more to worry about. He's ready for the fight. Tries to go in for the other, but Karma, with the support of his teammate, will be able to go ahead and secure the frag. This was a very, very dicey round. But well, in the favor, it rolled in the favor of Team Sarafa.
Absolutely. Sarafa with the level scoreline now. They should be feeling a little bit more comfortable given how this game started off for them. As Orangutan have a bit of nervousness that could creep in if they lose this round. They do have the showstopper on Aziz, so that could prove to be a round winner. But in what situation are they going to use it? Is it going to be a little bit proactiveness towards C that finds them as they hear all the sound cues coming in towards B? Excali will be pushed off his mark. Deadly going in for a bit of a flying kill here, but Raphael's ready for him, and he gets 3!
Down B.
Nobody's smoking
Last
off
player
Heaven. They've actually
standing.
covered off towards B-Link and towards C-Link, but nobody covers Heaven. And that is going to be Raphael winning the round single-handedly for Orangutan as he just fights them head-on and
Last round
wins every
before
single
the
aim
switch.
duel.
Spend those creds before we lose them.
Raw fuel just fueling up the game for Orangutan, and now finally Orangutan is in a position where if they try hard enough with the kind of ultimates that they have online, they can actually roll the game in their favor for the first half. They can go with a 7-5 swap, which is not terrible for Team Sarafa, but still much more optimal for Orangutan than a 6-6. So let's see how this turns around. Paranoia already
RVK. This time he's being sent on a bit of a forward mission. A lot of utility coming his way, but the I believe the flash came in there at the right time. Back comes one more from Karma. As one after the other trades are coming in, but it's still a 3 versus 3 right to Ace.
Spike
Wins
down,
one, but
C.
he loses his life in the process as well. OG keeping the C site read in their hands as it now ends up being a 3v2. And the spike still in spawn. 1 minute left on the clock. A lot of time to play with actually, but can Marzo actually do something here? He's lost the
player
first,
standing.
goes for the duel on the second, but loses it. Raphael just better with his aim in that situation as Tricky now left in a 1v3, and he's got potential. He is a prodigy, as we all call him, but he has a big task to achieve here. Goes with the
Spike
plan for a
planted.
little bit of safety. No open plan for him. He does have both the nano swarms available to him, but he's got to take his first fight a little bit carefully as a lockdown coming in. Okay, a bit of safety from Orangutan here. They want to actually win this round pretty neatly.
Well, they're trying to lure out Tricky. If Tricky is gonna stay in the position, he will be taken out, and he does get taken down by Antidote himself. A very easy and clean victory for the side of Orangutan. And there comes the defusal as well. 7-5 as expected, the swap comes in.
Oh man, this CSAT hole was insane. I think that first, I'm not quite sure if he was blinded by the Prowler or there was a flash that came in. I believe it was a Prowler that actually caught him, pretty quickly because he was jumping straight in towards the same direction. And they held down that C-side pretty strong. Good read from Orangutan there to expect that Sarafa push in. And they absolutely made sure that the utility usage from their side was on point. RVK was the single-handed reason why they could hold it down because his orb there was what was keeping them alive. As Sarafa, they have now yet to find out what they can do on defense. We are yet to find out as we will 7-5. They're down by 2. Can they make up for this on their defensive half?
Let's see how this turns around. As of now, it seems like there's gonna be a huge utility dump coming in from both the sides onto the C-mount area. And so far, going in the favor of Team Sarafa. Orangutan still trying to find their footing into this particular round. Again, a pistol that will not really flow their way.
Yep. RVK gets another one that makes it a little easier. Freaking, he gets the only one that makes it a little easier. Yeah, deadly. He actually gets a really important kill. Makes it a 4v2. He is pretty darn low, but he gets away safely. No harm, no foul at the end of that exchange of bullets. As OG, they now look for different avenues to explore. But Mars, look at his angle, man. He's holding that so well, and he gets both of them. A double tap, double kill. As Sarafa win their pistol.
An interesting start for Team Sarafa nonetheless, but it still seems like OG is not really in a comfortable spot. We did assume that 7-5 will put OG in a very, very comfortable swap. But Team Sarafa getting that pistol and also in the position to actually get the anti-eco. As I mentioned in the last half as well, if you are on the defensive side with the better weaponry, you have a higher chance of winning it than on the attacking side. Because the longer angle fights on those classics don't really bring fruit. An equalizer seems to be coming in for Team Sarafa already.
Oh,
But
RVK.
never mind me.
And they get another. They follow it up. What is happening? Both those kills, absolutely insane. Both towards two ends of the maps as well. One on C, one on A. They're making this work, and now they've been split. That defense has been spread thin like butter across the entire map. There is now a bit of a stack being called onto A. Right to A's does get reinforcements in. Tricky's playing a bit of a passive angle. As OG now just wait for Sarafa to make their move because they know they're desperate for a kill here. They need an opening of some kind. Karma's being given a bit of information from Aziz as he comes in on his own. And Tricky's confused about where exactly should he be playing at the moment. As Karma, he is calling out that this could be a fake. Tricky, you stay
30
there.
seconds
And
left.
he's right. Look at that push in OG. They might find a jump on this Tricky guy, and he's run away from them. This is timing at its best.
Well, the timing has definitely worked out, but OG is still trying to get into the game with Tricky already, making sure
10
that he
seconds left.
finds the ones that he needs. The
player
numbers have
standing.
turned around with the advantage already in the favor of OG. Suddenly, the tables go against them. And Team Sarafa win one more.
Watching.
Oh, here we
4
go.
frags for the guy.
Yeah, absolutely good. Instincts from him to just jump down the minute Karma sees the first player or he heard the plant down because the time was so far gone that all he needed to do was take out the planter. The minute he does that, he's gonna cause chaos for OG. They're gonna, just rummage around to get the spike down or go for the fights, and they lost all of them because their weapons were not as great. And just like that, it's 7-7. Sarafa want a bit of aggression to be applied towards A. They get control. This is their standard, play on Lotus as they send the players back now towards B, which seems likely the case unless OG, they're gonna take the doors, rotate it, and rotate themselves out towards C. They go where Tricky is trying to hold Aziz for as long as he possibly can, but these nanoswarms will not be giving him as much damage as he would have hoped. Sight being taken control of. They're waiting for a bit of a regression from Sarafa as the plant should be going down in just about a second.
Well, the planter is nowhere near being killed, and with that, the plant will go down. The numbers, though, won't be in the favor of OG. However, holding this won't be as difficult as you would think, even with one less man, because the entry points have already been covered for, and unless the defensive players make it back into the site, there is no way that they win the round. The trades all falling in the favor of OG, and with only one player lost, that happened even before the plant went down. OG will be able to secure the post-plant situation.
Eight to 7. Orangutan in the lead back again, thanks to that buy round and a good execution of that post plant. They held their ground, just took fights pretty much head on and won them straightforward. As now, Sarafa once again gonna be aggressing towards A, take control of that chokehold, make this a two-sided map. And once again, OG not too keen on taking it back for themselves. RVK is going to be the only point of contact. He takes out that Boombot. He's going to play it a little bit more safer as he's expecting somebody to come in from Sarafa, but they're actually not. Once again, it's the same bit of play we saw in the last round. It's a bit of a replication here. Take out the utility towards B, cause a bit of distraction. This time, there is no instant rotation from the door towards C. It's a bit of a long call. And they know this is going to be C because Karma's holding down A. B is in control. And Aziz has just flown in towards the C side. And he finds one. His showstopper doesn't connect though. It does tag down Marcel quite a bit. And Excali is there to finish that throw off. As Sarafa lose this C site to the hands of OG. And now Deadly is hoping for a way back in. But can he actually find? He's actually got a good timing here. He could get one. Gets spotted. Satchel's away. How does he manage that?
Does seem very tricky for the team, but well, that is how it is right now. The numbers still get in the favor of OG even after the trades coming in. And look at the HP on Deadly. He is about to be dead in a second. He manages to take two before going out, and the man with the lowest HP gets his third and wins the round for Team Sarafa. How is that even possible?
Oh, it is possible. Sarafa make it work. They've come back to 8-8. It seems like this pick of Lotus wasn't just on the back of a little bit of confidence. It's on the back of a lot of thinking and strategy as well. They've understood how to play this game. And while they've got themselves in a fighting stance, they've not gotten themselves in advantageous positions yet. They need their fights to translate even in these rounds. For now, yes, they've thrown the side of OG into a bit of a mix because of their semi-buy. And one after the other, they just keep killing them. And Deadly is going to farm up that showstopper as Orangutan, they give away the lead.
What just happened? This is... Why was everyone just coming in one after the other to take this fight? Why?
Yeah, maybe they thought they could win it, but... Yeah, the swings one by one were not, the right decision to make, but hey, they did have semi-weapons to fight, so maybe they just wanted a little bit of advantage of, peeking. But either way, Orangutan good enough to make that, comeback happen for the slightest bit of disadvantage that they've got. But Deadly, oh, he's in no man's land here. He still gets one though, and Antidote doubles up, and Aziz is taking out Karma. And with that, the A side has been absolutely pummeled open. Sarafa, they've been cut down, chopped to pieces in a matter of 2 seconds.
Well, Team Sarafa in this position can only and only wait for their own demise to happen. It doesn't seem like they have a lot in their favor. The positions have already been revealed, and a good option for Aziz to actually fight off of. He doesn't even have to wait for the paint shell to go off because Excali already has things in control. Antidote has been constantly contributing and stepping up at the times when the team needs, like a true IGL. And the team is feeding off of his energy. Beautiful for Orangutan. But then again, this is very toe-to-toe. And both the teams have equally enough at stake to actually try and give their 100% in every single round.
Yep, and here we go. Once again, we follow the trail of just trading blow for blow in the second half. Sarafa doing a lot better job than they did in the second half of the previous map. Exgali is going straight in for the plant, and Aziz covers up for him from Link. Goes for another. Aziz has done enough for his team, as even though Antidote just gets in the side and gets taken out, it's the one man left surviving. Karma will go down as OG claw back the lead into their favor. And a round that could have been, honestly, for them, this peaking of one after the other cost them again. I get that the B-Link door is a little too small for a double swing, but the point of that is that maybe Right to Ace could just swing out wide and then have the player come in and use that distraction to kill him. It would have been a much cleaner, maybe they wouldn't have even lost his life, because Aziz will definitely not be ready for that pop and swing.
Exactly, and also maybe use some utilities trying to swing around there. It's a tight area for the same purpose. You use your utilities to try and get an entry from there. But well, this time around, OG again losing players one after the other. Both the teams repeating the same mistakes on and on, not really learning much from it. This time around, the OG does have all the three players who have their ultimates online alive and might be able to capitalize on the same.
Shadows traveling.
Towards site A, they march one after the other. And the timing is good because there is no peek coming in from the side of Sarafa's Omen just yet. Right to Ace, though, will be able to pick Aziz, making the numbers fall down even shorter, making life difficult for OG. Now X-Kelly has to make sure that his weaponry can do the work for him. But now he's the only one surviving. And it's a 1v2 that needs a
He does have his
resultant.
ultimate. Oh, he gets swung out. He did have his ultimate. He could have actually gone straight to C and got the plan and played for a better situation. But unfortunately, Sarafa have their pistols working just as good as OG's as they find a thrifty themselves. Orangutan finding their match on this map of Lotus from Sarafa's end, as one after the other, they just keep trading blow for blow, punch for punch.
The scoreline is so dicey and so equalized right now. It keeps switching sides. Let's see if OG will be able to go ahead and get themselves another point of lead into this one. Because so far, all that they had gained is kinda gone. 3 more rounds to victory for both the teams. But those 3 have to happen before the other teams gets 2 for themselves. With Nightmare already invested towards site A, trying to execute will become slightly easy, but the double backstab does not give any fruit to OG, even after having Raw Fuel standing there to watch out for it. And now they are wrapped from every angle. The lurker from OG, though X-Cali, will be able to change things, but he does not get the opportunity as Tricky spots him right in the middle of his move.
Oh, there comes the ultimate from the defense. Aziz, though, he's got one of his own, but RVK couldn't stand strong enough for more than 1 kill, and he will be conceding this round at the end. It was a valiant effort. They took down 2 players, 1 for 1 each, but unfortunately, it just wasn't going to translate any more than that. Out comes the timer for a Sky, as OG now need to listen to their analyst as to what is going wrong, what can be changed, what can be done to improve the situation, or else we might end up watching a map number 3. And I'm pretty sure OG don't want that. How can they change this around? Because this round, they do have 2 big ultimates to utilize. That Killjoy lockdown is going to be really important for them to work with. And I'm pretty sure they're going to try and execute it towards the C side, because that should be the easiest site to take. And to follow that up with Aziz's entry with the showstopper, that should be the most easiest way for them to open up the, a bomb site for them. But let's see where exactly this might head, because I'm not quite sure if the economy is on par for Orangutan.
We'll soon figure out. We'll soon figure out. Just 2 more seconds to go into the game. And yeah, as you mentioned, Side C does seem like the best opportunity for the side of Orangutan, and the economy does look good for this round at least. But after this, they have nothing to hold on to. They have to make sure that this round is won. Otherwise, they will get pushed out of the map very soon.
Oh,
Team Sarafa is in a very
This is
advantageous position though.
They most certainly are. As the attack trying to explore towards B and C for the moment. They did send out Antidote to just give out a bit of a warning with his Prowlers. And on the other side, they realize that this is probably going to be a B fake and a C hit. So out comes the Viper Spit, and it's pretty deep because they want to cover off the region where that Killjoy could actually put down that Viper Spit. So that's a really good ultimate from Marzo. Wants to make sure that they keep that Killjoy out of this zone. But this attack is going to end up on B because that B side is also pretty vulnerable to that Killjoy ultimate. It creates a big dome, a big radius for them to get in. And Aziz going to fly in with the ultimate. For the moment, he is stuck with a perfect seize from right to Oasis, who holds him down. But he still finds the kill onto Deadly. And Sarafa now in a 4v5 retake.
Sarafa in a very tight situation because every single choke point has already been watched onto by the players of Orangutan. Staying inside the site, leaving one lurker behind. They have made themselves be the kings of this round. RVK already making sure that his position gives as much value to the team as important. And Tricky, being the last man standing, just keeps jiggling around to try that frag onto Aziz and gives a flawless equalizer to Orangutan.
Well, 11-11. Orangutan want to make a wish here. As
I think they can fulfill it.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they can. They do have the momentum in their way, but the big ultimates that we spoke about, both of them invested in this, and now they've got nothing. On the other side, Sarafa, they've got a Nightfall to work with, and that is one ultimate that we've seen in the previous couple of rounds as well. The right to ace has used in good moments to actually get his team big advantages. Let's see how it works out this time, though. Orangutan, once again, going towards B and C. They don't care about taking this A main control whatsoever. They know it's not going to be possible with the, amount of utility that's being dropped by Sarafa. And they are practically treating this as a bomb-sided map in the first 30 seconds of every single round. And now they explore back towards A. They want to try and fish out wherever Karma's sitting. An Antidote. Out he goes with his haunt. That could have been avoided, actually. Karma could have actually tucked himself close to the wall and, just avoided that completely. But he destroys it and he gives away his position. And as a result, Deadly is forced to come out from B-Link and fight that. And Sarafa, one by one, they lose their players in situations where they shouldn't be fighting the opponents when they know that OG are flocking together as a squad, not as a solo member.
This is already a very difficult situation for Team Sarafa, and OG will soon find themselves on the match point. Marzel here, trying to walk in, but his pistol has been spotted by Raw Fuel, and he will walk into the fight, get the frag, make the numbers go in his favor. He has 3 to his name already, and he can actually run ahead and try for the ace because he's in a very comfortable spot as of now. However, with the spike already in, the other 2 players from the side of Team Sarafa will just want to save their weapons, as the next round will be pretty difficult to invest into.
I agree. OG, they've got Rolf. You look at this guy. He's going on the hunt. He's got RVK coming from the other side as well. And while right choice is going to be good for one, he has a flank coming in. He's probably not going to expect it. Oh, they spot him. Rafio needs to force. He gets it, turns around and takes him out as well.
He got his ace.
He gets the ace. He finds the ace. Rafio. What a guy. What a time to come alive as well. He finds both those first frags and then silently becomes the assassin. In the end, 180 flicks Trixie as it ends 12-11. This
chaos.
might be the climax.
Well, here we are at a round which might commence the end of the day. Let's see how well OG is prepared for this, because this looks a very gambled stack onto side C from the side of Team Sarafa. They have read the information pretty well. That side B and C are the places that Orangutan likes to hit at. And this time around, with the changed composition, Team Sarafa might be able to throw Orangutan off guard on this one. And they actually need this if they even want to push it to an overtime.
Yeah,
Okay,
12,
with this,
11.
they already know that Site A does not have Omen on it, which makes them realize that this might be a stack that they do not want to mess with, and OG instantly changes their plans.
Yep, instantly they do. You can see it's gonna be a full out B hit. And Marzel's just got a sheriff to defend this. He does call in for backup here. Right to Ace makes his way, but can he get this fight in his favor? Jump spot gets him 2 bullets fired, and he knows there's multiple people here. But OG instantly turn their intentions towards A, where they've got Antidote pretty deep. Unless it's it's actually going to be C. They are trying to sell this fake with Antidote, as he is trying to prepare them for a huge fake. The Nightfall comes in from right to Ace. This has been a round winner in the previous couple of rounds, but this time it could not go through. Antidote wins his first fight. Time is of the essence though. The plant comes down back towards B. Fakes upon fakes, but OG just keep winning, keep firing, and the last man standing is Deadly. The prodigious talent played across multiple different teams has now been left to clutch out a 1v3. Tries to give a bit of a sound fake here, but Excali, he's not sold, and neither is RVK. They're holding off each other's angles, and all they need is a bit of a peek see. Deadly gives it. Deadly finds one, but Excali will take him out, and so they will Sarafa as well. Orangutan secure a 2-0 against their rivals Sarafa, as they shut down this game 13-11.
Well, a very close one compared to the last one, but this time around, again, Orangutan makes sure that Sarafa does not get the glimpse of a victory against them, as they haven't yet. It's still to be discovered if Sarafa will get the opportunity to beat OG, but in this tournament, it seems like OG has already come up on top, and they are moving forward with this victory. Very, very fashionably sewn into their t-shirts.
Absolutely. They head further in the upper brackets, and Sarafa, their upper bracket journey will be unfortunately cut off right here, as we've got a lot more to come from them, of course, in the lower brackets, but we'll find out how that all ends up. For now, this game has concluded in a way that we kind of were probably expecting, but honestly, the scorelines were much closer than what we've seen in the past. Orangutan have smacked Sarafa 13-1, 13-5, 13-7. So this honestly was a lot more of an improvement, but this is obviously not enough. Sarafa have the potential to, clutch out some of these rounds that they've lost and not give out a little bit of I would say a freebie kill every now and then. But yeah, overall, Orangutan in complete control. They know how, like I've mentioned this before, they're not doing anything crazy out of the blue. They're just finding the timings and positions, and of course the utility to allow them to take fights at the right time with a better chance of winning it. And overall, also, they're just better. Some of their players are better with their aim.
That's true. There's a lot that's coming in from the side of Orangutan that needs a lot of polishing from the side of Team Sarafa to actually challenge this to a position where they can at least take it into an overtime and soon enough start winning their maps as well. But so far, the Kryptonite stays completely in place, making the Superman kneel in front of Orangutan, and Team Sarafa has a lot more to work on before they can actually take OG down. So far, Raw Fuel, again with his humongous number of frags, does stay tall and strong onto the map. But look at Deadly. He has more frags. He just could not get the win.
Yeah, I agree. And by the way, if you do put your eyes onto, actually use your brain to do the math, Raw Fuel actually has got 50 kills across 2 maps. And that is absolutely insane. He got 28 in the previous one. He got 22 here. He's found so much value, and him in this new role of playing a flex, Of course, he had quite a bit of time to settle into this. We did not see this in Ascension as much, but coming back and trying to find his way, because they've gotten Aziz onto that primary duelist role, because Aziz can do multiple things, because Rafael doesn't usually play the Raze. Aziz does. He's great with the Jet as well. They've actually switched up their roles, and they're doing absolutely amazing. Rafael still continuing to, dominate his with his aim, this time with a little bit more of a, I would say, patient approach.
That's true. And Rafael, with this change in role, change in his responsibilities in the team, has been able to deliver the right amount of aggression alongside the right amount of control. Like, we have seen times when Rafael could actually go in and get those frags, but he has stayed on a more back foot and more disciplined aim trigger discipline a lot of times, specifically because he carries the kind of utility kit that is important for the whole team and not just for himself. And that has put him in a very, very important position, which is making him push through the team for a really, really efficient way.
Agreed. Agreed. Yep. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have for today. Unfortunately, Sarafa couldn't clutch out, what they were hoping to. Lotus was a pretty great fought battle, but in the end, OG just slip out by one singular round ahead of them and find their victory. But this is not the end of their journeys. Both these teams are going to be playing further. We've got more games coming in. Lower brackets are going to be beginning, which means Sarafa are going to be trying to fight their way now through the lower brackets. One life only remains in their hands, and they need to win every single game to fight it till the end. Will they do it? We'll find out tomorrow. 5 p.m., by the way, is when we're going to be beginning. So be there, as the India Predator League 2023, powered by Acer, is going to be back, as we will be taking a break for tonight, and we will see you all tomorrow. Happy gaming and good night.